I'm Tamika, and this is Pretty Critical. The beauty and wellness industry is filled with so many scams, so much misinformation, so many wacky ideas, so much propaganda that I'm just not falling for. If you've been on TikTok lately, you've seen the trend propaganda that I'm not falling for. People do it across a wide array of subjects, but I want to focus in specifically on the beauty and wellness community and industry. Number one is preventive Botox. Let's do a little math. Let's say that Botox costs $100 a year. It doesn't, it costs way more than that. But for the sake of this argument, let's use numbers that are easy to multiply by. And let's say you're gonna live 100 years. If you start getting Botox at age 20 because you are trying to stave off wrinkles, that means that you will be paying for Botox for 80 years. 80 times 100 is $8,000 across your lifetime. Now let's say you wait until you actually see wrinkles on your face. And let's say that happens at age 50. It's different for everybody, but you only do Botox for 50 years. That is 50 times 100, 5,000. You've saved $3,000 over your lifetime just by actually waiting until you get wrinkles. And let me tell you, injectors, dermatologists, they've done the math. They know that if you start Botox early, you're paying way more for it over the course of your life instead of just waiting until you see some kind of issue that you'd like to address. If you are going to choose Botox at all, for God's sakes, just wait and save a little cash. You don't need green juices and powders. Like, I understand sometimes it's like a fun little treat that tastes good. All for it, treat yourself. But when it tastes bad, when they have the audacity to make a green juice that doesn't taste good, knowing that green juices and powders aren't really necessary, oh, you're getting played. You are getting micronutrients, you are getting vitamins, I'll give you that. You know what else does that for you? A multivitamin. Even better, eat whole foods, because what you lose out on when you're doing a green juice is fiber. Fiber is so important for your health. You need that roughage to go through your system, to help your gut, to balance your blood sugar. When you juice, you lose the fiber, but you keep all the sugar. That can cause blood sugar spikes. When you lose the fiber, you don't stay as full. So what are we doing here? If anything, have a smoothie. You're keeping a lot of the fiber, you're getting the same micronutrients, you're getting the same vitamins, and it'll keep you full for longer. Speaking of what your body actually needs, the protein trend is out of control. You don't need that much protein. You're killing yourself every day trying to hit your protein goal, and all the while it's based on an arbitrary number. It doesn't even align with the science. The number that's often cited is that you need 1 gram of protein for every 1 pound. That is a misunderstanding of a study that says you need 1 gram of protein for every kilogram. A kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So let's take me, for instance. I weigh 145 pounds. If I were going by a gram per pound, I would be eating 145 grams of protein a day. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. And I don't have to do that, because if you do the math, 1 gram of protein per kilogram would mean that I only have to eat 66 grams of protein a day. And even that number is debated. Some studies go as low as 0.8 grams per kilogram, can go up to 1.2 grams per kilogram. And then if you're an athlete or you're looking to really put on muscle, then they say you can go even higher. But the studies, the science aren't really there for 1 gram per 1 pound. And honestly, it can be dangerous. Too much protein can lead to increased kidney stones. If you're getting that protein from red meat, from saturated fat, you're gonna have an increased risk of heart disease, colon cancer. So I'm not saying to stop eating protein. Like, please don't put that on me. Do not get in the comments like, well, I love protein. Please, I am here. I believe in protein. I try and get my protein every day, but you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to kill yourself over it. And when you do it, just choose healthier forms of protein that aren't going to increase your risk of heart disease. And for all of these, remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an esthetician, I'm not a dermatologist, but I do know how to read, and all the information is out there. In fact, I'll drop some links down in the description box. Medical grade skincare is a made-up term. It's a marketing term. You want something medical grade, go get a prescription. What brands and stores and estheticians all say about medical grade skincare is that it's just one step down from prescription, that it's got all of these ingredients that you can't get elsewhere, that you really need to pay a premium for. And maybe that was partially true back in the day. Like a lot of ingredients in the skincare that I would buy, because I have spent probably thousands of dollars on medical grade skincare before I wised up. A lot of those ingredients weren't widely available. So something like retinaldehyde, which is a type of retinoid, it's like retinol, but potentially a little bit stronger, yet more gentle on the skin. It's a great ingredient. That was so hard to find when I started my skincare journey. That being said, those formulations have nothing to do with what a doctor would prescribe because they are not medications. It is very much a marketing term meant to make you think these are premium products even when they're not. And honestly, a lot of these products are scammy, untested, unproven, and they are very expensive. And you are paying so much money because you've been told that it's medical adjacent, and it's simply not. Honestly, I think brands like Nyad, which is an offshoot of The Ordinary, have done a lot to bring those kinds of ingredients that seemed very precious, very rare, very worth paying a premium for to the masses for less. They're not as cheap as The Ordinary because some of these ingredients do cost more money to formulate, but they're more accessible now. And, mask off, you can't tell me that they're worth this extra money. Fluoride-free toothpaste. So many times when you hear people say, we don't need fluoride in our toothpaste, they are off their rocker. As you keep asking questions, you start to hear things like they're putting it in the water supply to control our minds and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I understand, honestly, how people get that way. The medical establishment has done so many things wrong that when they're doing something right, people are mistrustful. People don't believe that the government and the medical establishment would do something to help them. But that is exactly what fluoride is. It is one of the greatest public health interventions of our time. The other thing you hear a lot is people being nervous. I don't know about fluoride safety profile. I don't know if it's safe for my kids. But all that information is out there. Fluoride is very safe. The amount of fluoride that it would take to harm you is way more than you would ever ingest. And of course, anything can harm you in a large enough amount. Even water can make you very sick. It can kill you if you take too much of it. If you drink too much of it. As they say, it is the dose that makes the poison. Fluoride is not inherently harmful. The last thing I hear is that fluoride will yellow your teeth. I don't know. Does it? As someone with aesthetically pleasing teeth, and that's not me gassing myself up, I don't have to, other people do it for me. People really seem to like my teeth. It's a compliment I get a lot, but I don't actually have super healthy teeth and gums. When I go to the dentist every time, they're like, all right, girl, let's work on this. I'm being vulnerable sharing that. But as someone whose teeth need some work, structurally, fluoride is my best friend. Fluoride is my girl. You will never take fluoride from me. Not even RFK Jr. could take fluoride from me. Well, he could, The administration has power, but I will be marching on Washington. Barbie Botox. That is when you get Botox right here in your trap muscle so that instead of this hump, this sloping upwards, it goes down. It slopes inwards like a Barbie's would, and your neck looks longer and I don't know, you feel better about yourself. No, no, I refuse to even entertain the thought. And I'm not even someone that's anti-plastic surgery, anti-cosmetic and aesthetic treatments. But unless you have some kind of, medical condition where your traps are really tight, you've got pain, you need Botox to release the muscle, because that does exist. I think if you're sitting there and you're like, I need my traps to look more like a Barbie's, you got to go see the lady. Therapy. You need a little bit of therapy. And I say this as someone who I've had Botox before, I've had filler before, I don't have any of that right now. but I'm not opposed to it. I also need to see the lady. Like any type of cosmetic enhancement, you probably, if you got therapy, if you worked through self-image issues, would want them less. And of course, I understand the society we live in, the pressures that are on people. Like, don't worry, I'm like in this world with you. I don't have some sort of utopian thoughts that if everyone just shows up and stops doing beauty treatments, that you'll be treated as well as you were before. Like, people are nasty, nasty, nasty when they don't think you look as good as they want you to, if you don't align perfectly with certain beauty standards. But everyone's got lines. For me, personally, here's mine. Wrapping this up with detox cleanses. Unless you are ill, like your liver is impaired, you have some kind of condition, you don't need to detox cleanse. Your liver is already doing it for you. You are out here choking down charcoal. Meanwhile, that's her job. She's already working on it. You want to do something for your liver? Reduce your alcohol consumption. Get vaccinated for hepatitis. Watch what you're eating so that you can reduce your risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Historically, selling a detox cleanse has been a very easy way to get money out of rich white ladies. And now it's expanding even further. People from all walks of life, all incomes, are turning to detox cleanses, many of which are just full-on scams, and others of which are, again, untested, unproven. There is so little scientific research into their efficacy and into their safety. But there are things we do know are good for you, like eating whole foods, fruits and vegetables, getting lean protein, everything I said about protecting your liver so that it can continue to detoxify your body. And it's extra sad to me when people honestly can't afford to be doing these cleanses, but they're doing them anyway because they have been so sick for so long. I understand how people get here. People get sick with these ailments and diseases that we have yet to conquer. And when you have been either pushed aside and ignored by the medical establishment, or they just don't have an answer for you, you're going to turn to other methods of accessing healthcare. And that's how people go down the wellness rabbit hole, which for some people ends up in this odd conservative bent. I could talk forever about that. And for others, it drains all their money. And that is the issue writ large with these beauty and wellness issues that I've raised. The beauty and wellness industries, so not beauty as a concept, not wellness as a concept, but the industries, the people that are making money off of you, well, they have every reason to make you feel sick, to make you feel insecure, to offer you false promises, because at the end of the day, cash is king. And there's so many more. We pick and choose what beauty rituals we engage in. Some of them feel additive to our lives. Some of them feel like chores. And it's not always that we do the ones that feel additive and ignore the ones that feel like chores. There are people every day that wake up and do beauty rituals, do wellness rituals that they don't want to do that aren't serving them in the long run. So it's something worth exploring. I would love to hear what beauty and wellness propaganda you're not falling for down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, I do beauty culture, wellness culture, some fashion, some personal finance as someone who loves beauty and wellness and fashion, but needs to be saving money. Please like and subscribe so I know to keep making this kind of content and so you can stay in the loop. Stick around. Side note, I almost put shaving daily in here, but I didn't because I know how that makes the girls want to tussle. But it's not for me. It's never happening. Get a grip.